Hi, I'm Ollie, and this is Queer Wheels Corner. Today I am not filming from my house. I'm actually visiting a friend in a different state. Today I wanted to talk to you about this really awesome book that my friend Johnny wrote, and it's called Buy My Book. Not because you should, but because I'd like some money. Let me just tell you, this book is an experience. And I mean that in the best possible way. I've known Johnny for about 5 years now, and I'm not being paid to review this book. I'm not being sponsored to review this book at all. I just want to support my friend, and he wrote a really awesome book, so I'm just going to help as many of you get interested in it as I can, because it's a really good book. Johnny has ADHD. If you have never talked to someone with ADHD before, if you've ever wondered what it's like to be in the mind of a person who has ADHD, then you should read this book, because this book is all over the place. I'm not sure what genre to put it in exactly. It doesn't exactly fit into a genre. Like, he talks about his opinion on like politics and church. There's also some very goofy and silly things in this book, which just make it completely better, to be honest. It is simultaneously very self-depreciating in tone and affirming. So, like, he calls the readers suckers for buying his book, but at the same time, he's also like, but this is my book and I have things that I need to say. So if you want to read it, that's great. If not, I'm still writing this book. That was really refreshing, and it is better just because I know Johnny personally. That's just how Johnny is. Right from the beginning, I was like just rolling in laughter about this book. Even just the introduction cracked me up, and that pretty much continued throughout the entire book. It's fantastic. People with ADHD or people on the autism spectrum, they get really into things that they're into, and they have trouble getting into things that they're not into. Like, I know everyone likes things, but like, for neurodiverse people, it's different. It's not the same. I'm not sure how to explain it other than to say, like, I have ADHD and I hyperfocus. And so what hyperfocus means for me is that if I'm interested in something, everything else completely disappears. I've forgotten to go to the bathroom or like eat a thing for like 17 hours before because I was focused on this thing that I was really into. You just gotta believe me when I say that it's different. The level of intensity for neurodiverse people is different from neurotypical people. And let me just clarify, being neurotypical is not bad. It just means that you do not experience mental illness or learning disabilities or disorders. Hi, Serge. This is my friend's dog, Serge. He's a sweetheart. So anyways, back to Johnny's book. One of Johnny's interests is photography. And there's an entire chapter where he just gets to info dump on photography. And like, when I first started reading that chapter, I was like, oh my God, he didn't. No, he didn't. Wait, he totally did. Oh my God. And then like, kind of just really jealous about him being able to info dump with people that were like eager to hear, hi Serge, that were like eager, that were eager to hear what he had to say about his interest. Even if no one else was, I personally loved reading his chapter on what camera should you buy, just because I know that that's something that he's really interested in. And it is such a good feeling having someone be interested in your interest and like completely okay with you just info dumping and like saying all of the things, and even things that like they would have never considered, but you know, because you're super interested in it. And he has an entire chapter on photography. Like, I realize that this book is kind of an info dump from him, but like, I'm really just jealous that he got to info dump about one of his passions. This book is really, really random. There's a chapter in German. I mean, I wanted to read the entire book, but like, I don't read German, so I can't read the entire book. but also like there's a crossword and a word search in this book. I mean, come on. What other books aside from like coloring books have crosswords and word searches? There are also worksheets at the end of every chapter. These worksheets range from serious to silly with like some questions or like things to get you thinking. One of them, okay. I'm just gonna turn to one of the worksheets that I marked to go back to later and just give you an example of it, just so you know. So I turned to the first worksheet time. Right away it says, that's right, you can either dive into the experience by filling out this worksheet or by ignoring it. Either way, can you imagine how short this book would seem if I didn't stick fillers like this in it? This worksheet is about like your life at work and at home and other places where you're awesome at what you do. And then like also the parts in your life where you kind of suck at what you do. Each of the chapters has a worksheet at the end that is related to the previous chapter. The book is interactive and it's entertaining. There's also really just funny nonsensical things, like he wrote a song about Drew Barrymore when he was younger and like included that in the book. I have to give you a spoiler alert warning for what I'm about to say, but I'm not actually going to put the spoiler alert warning in just because honestly, this spoiler is going to be like 2 seconds long and worth it. You're not going to find out all about this book just by listening to this spoiler. If you don't want to listen, skip ahead like 20 seconds, but it'll be worth it. So there's a chapter that is called, Is the Earth Actually Flat? And then the entire chapter is just the next page and it's completely blank except for the word no in the middle. I laughed at this so hard, and I was on the plane when I read that chapter. I laughed so hard about it that my seat partner, buddy, person, words are hard today. So I laughed so hard that the person I was sitting next to was like, "What are you laughing about?" And so I told him, and then he started laughing. And like this happened like 4 or 5 times where like the next like 5 or 6 people around us just started laughing, and it like got retold over and over again. Like there's a chapter in this book called Is the Earth Flat? No. What? Really? What book are you reading? Hopefully I created some interest for your book doing that, because that was hilarious. I loved it. This book has just been really affirming to me as a writer, because it was kind of the kick in the pants that there's no one specific way to describe this book. Like it doesn't fit into any boxes at all. If Johnny can write this book and have it like and get it to this point of being a book, wow, I'm brilliant. Like it kind of just reminded me that I can write what I need or want to write, and like even if it's just important to me, it's still important, and there's a chance that someone might. So that was really cool. As you can see, I annotate. I'll eventually do a video on how I annotate, because it's a little bit different for what type of book I'm reading. So this was a completely new pack of stickies when I started this book. And usually it takes me 3 to 6 books, depending on the books that I'm reading, to go through like one color of these. And this book was an overachiever. All of my blue and my green tabs. Like, I'm not even mad. I'm just impressed. But, hi, sir. My annotating system is a little bit different for the type of book that I'm reading. But, Serge... Typically, the things that stay the same are the greens are something that I really liked or that was good, and the blues are things that made me laugh. The green for memoir type books is more of like I felt connected with this on like a human level, and like this book is just filled with green and blue tabs. I really enjoyed this book. Also, Johnny gets my award for the best author picture, because that's his cover picture, his actual author picture in the back of the book. I'm not going to spoil it for you, but that's pretty great too. So overall, I really liked this book, and I would give it 5 stars. I will link all of the information about Johnny or the book in the description below. But seriously, buy his book. Not because you should, but because he wants some money. And honestly, he deserves it. Go buy the book. Hi, Serge. Hi. Thanks for watching. If you like the videos that I am putting out, then please like and subscribe, or leave a comment about if you've read by my... Okay, bye, Serge. Leave a comment about if you've read Buy My Book, not because you should, but because I'd like some money. That is a long title. But definitely worth the read. I promise if you read this book, you will not have ADHD afterwards. Even if it may feel like that, you'll be fine. As always, all videos will always be captioned.